Imagine standing by the edge of a river, watching its waters weave through rocks, glimmer under sun, and surge forward with an unstoppable energy. You reach out, cupping the water in your hands, trying to hold it still, but no matter how tightly you squeeze, the water slips away, defying your attempt to contain it. Frustrating, isn't it? But also a gentle reminder of a universal truth. Some things are meant to move, to flow, to be free. Now, think about your emotions. Are not they just like that river? Constantly in motion, shifting from joy to sorrow, anger to calm, excitement to fear. Yet, in our modern lives, we often try to control them, to own them, or worse, to dictate how others should feel. This resistance doesn't bring peace. Instead, it creates tension, misunderstandings, and unnecessary sufferings. Let us explore why this metaphor of flowing water matters so much, not just in understanding ourselves, but in building better connections with people around us. Why emotions are like flowing water? Picture this. You have had a great day. Maybe you aced an exam, received a compliment from your boss, or spent time laughing with friends. You feel joy, and it's glorious. But then, out of nowhere, a text message from someone you have been avoiding fills you with dread. Or maybe you stumble across a memory that brings tears to your eyes. This is the reality of human emotions. They are not static, they are fluid. Just as a river changes its course after a storm, emotions shift in response to our experiences. For instance, in today's fast-paced world, many of us face situations like feeling unexpectedly overwhelmed at work despite having a productive day, experiencing envy while scrolling through social media even if we were content moments before, trying to suppress sadness during a family gathering because it is not the right time to feel down. What do all these scenarios have in common? They show how emotions refuse to follow our rules or schedules. They rise, they fall, and evolve on their own terms. Let us be honest. Most of us have tried to manage emotions, either ours or someone else's. We may have said things like, "Stop crying, you have no reason to be upset. You should feel grateful instead of complaining. Why are you so angry? Calm down already." Sounds familiar, right? These phrases may come from a place of good intent. They highlight a desire to control what cannot and should not be controlled. When we suppress emotions, we create blockages. It is like trying to dam a river. The water builds up, and when it finally breaks free, it can cause flood. Similarly, bottled up anger can explode in harmful ways, and unexpressed sadness can lead to prolonged despair. Take social interactions as an example. Imagine someone smiling at a party to keep the mood light while feeling deeply hurt inside. Eventually, the cracks show in their tone, in their withdrawal, or in a sudden outburst. The truth is, controlling emotions doesn't solve problems, it only delays them. Nowhere is the desire for emotional control more evident or more destructive than in relationships. Think about these scenarios. A parent expecting their child to always be cheerful and obedient, dismissing their moments of frustration or sadness. A partner demanding constant affection, failing to understand that love isn't a steady flame, but a flickering, evolving light. A friend insisting you get over your heartbreak quickly because they feel uncomfortable witnessing your grief. Such expectations breed resentment. Why? Because they deny the fundamental truth that emotions are fluid and personal. Relationships thrive not when we try to mold each other's feelings, but when we accept them as they are, unpredictable, raw, and beautifully human. Psychologist William James, along with Carl Lang, proposed a groundbreaking theory. Emotions are a result of our body's reaction to the world around us. For example, you don't cry because you are sad. You feel sad because you are crying. This perspective shows that emotions are not something we can consciously turn off. They are natural responses, deeply tied to our physical and psychological states. Philosophy adds another layer of understanding. Heraclitus, the ancient Greek thinker, famously said, "You cannot step into the same river twice." Just as a river constantly changes, so too do our emotions. His message: change is inevitable, and resisting it only leads to frustration. So, if controlling emotion is a losing battle, what's the alternative? Acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing to flow with your emotions rather than fighting against them. It is about recognizing that anger isn't a bad emotion. It is a signal that something needs your attention. Sadness isn't weakness. It is a reflection of love or loss. Happiness isn't something to hold on to. It is a moment to savor, knowing it will ebb and flow like all things. In practical terms, this might look like letting a loved one vent frustrations without jumping in to fix things, allowing yourself to feel disappointment after a setback instead of forcing positivity, journaling or meditating to observe your emotions without judgment. By doing so, you create space for emotional growth, healing, and understanding. Emotions, like rivers, are meant to flow. They carve through the landscapes of our lives, shaping who we are. When we stop trying to dam the flow, when we embrace their fluidity, we find freedom, not chaos. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by your emotions or someone else's, remember the river. Stand by its edge, watch it flow, and remind yourself: peace doesn't come from control, it comes from gentle art of letting go.